Hello everyone, welcome to our math class. In this video, we are going to discuss different ways to represent a linear function. We are also going to discuss how do we convert from one way to another. So first thing first, as you can see, in this example here, we just use a linear function as example, but actually to any kind of function, we can use equation of the function or table or the graph to represent a function. And also, for each way to represent, we can always easily to convert from one way to another. We can either use equation to create a table, or use table to create a graph, or even graph to get an equation. So any way, we can always find a way to change to its equivalent way. So the first example, what we are going to do is we are going to check the linear function, which is negative 2x plus 3, and we are going to create a function table here. But before we create a table here, I just want to quickly go over some key terms here. When we write an equation in this form, as you can see, we see a number in front of x and also the number here. We call this slope intercept form. The reason we call this because the number here, m, stands for the slope. In this case, it's actually negative 2. And the number b stands for the y-intercept. In this case, is actually 3. Okay, this is just terms here. So how do we create a function table? Create a function table, the first we can just easily to create a chart here. And the first column is always, we consider is x, which is our input. And the second column is y, which is our output. And all we need to do, we just choose a different random values here. And it's always good to choose some positive and some negative numbers, so it's easier to transfer to graphing because it covers positive and negative. So how to get value of y? All we need to do, we plug in the value into the equation. Since y is negative 2x plus 3, so all we need to do, we see the structure is any number for the x times negative 2 plus 3, so I just plug into the negative number, the x value into the equation, and we can just finish the calculation. I just show the first example here, and you can definitely finish the rest part on your own, okay? And the second one, so we know the value here is 7. So second one, we do exactly the same thing. Again, any value for the x, we just need to plug into the value into the equation, and we can get the answer accordingly. So this is just how we show the work, do the calculation. And now I just write down the value here for you as a reference. As you can see, this is it. This is how do we create a table. Next, we are going to use a table to create an equation. So a little bit opposite way. So as you can see, we have a table for the input of x and input of y. And whenever we write down the equation, we actually need to create it in the slope-intercept form. It's like a very straightforward way to do this. And in order to write this, we need to figure out what is m, which is slope, and what is y-intercept, which is b. So first, slope is, the definition is actually changing y over changing x. And some students probably remember this as rise over rise, all equivalent definitions, okay? So how do we observe the changing y? Let's see the pattern here. So if you observe quickly, closely, you notice that x actually increasing one step from one to the other, right? We just follow this pattern. And for the y, is actually increasing 3 every single time. So as you can see, changing y, which is adding 3, and changing x, which is adding 1. So that's why this ratio gave us slope, which is 3. So this equation we know is going to be 3x plus a number. So what is y-intercept? Multiple ways to do that. If we have the value, because for the y-intercept is the x value, when x value is 0, the value of y, which is y-intercept. So this is actually y-intercept. We easily know that, which is negative 1. However, what if we do not have this value? What do we do that? I can just easily choose a number, choose an order pair. For example, I choose 2 and 5. I plug into this equation. I will see how do we get it. So this equation says 3 times the value of x, which is 2, and this answer plus a number, it will give us 5, because 2 matching to 5, right? So now we just need to figure out 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus what number give us 5, which is -1. So we know the b is -1. So we can easily write down the equation, which is 3x minus 1. You can just convert it to this. And that's how we write the equation of the function, okay? So this is this video, which is easily converted between table to function or equation or table to equation. In the next video, we are going to move on to talk about the graphing. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, everyone.